Good evening. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. There's nobody on the air, so I'm here, and I don't think there's any emergency traffic, but there is. If there is, call 911. If you can't do that, tell us, and we'll do it for you. Net may be broken anytime. Just break in there and scream. For information on the net, you can go to YouTube right now and see the display on my radio, which will give you the audio to all the people who, not all the people, everyone who checks in, including me. But hear that audio if you can't hear it on your own station. Gives you a good idea where the locations are. And as you know, I always give the location of every station I talk to. At any rate, you also can go to Facebook at MJ Simplexton and see me if you so desire. I don't know why you would, but here I am. And then I succumbed to skatebook, that too. Also, you can go to 146415.net for information on Simplex. You can also go to groups.io and hit MJSS in their search block. You can sign up for our email system, which is just a reminder system, as well as gives us a place to buy and sell equipment, as well as to answer technical questions, support new hams or old hams or medium hams or cured hams. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arrlnet.net. Now submit the question to the committee, and we'll answer it in due time. Net normally meets at 8 p.m. every Saturday and Wednesday night. I said that backwards, but it's Wednesday and Saturday night since tonight's Wednesday. And been doing that now on be 10 years in September. I just looked again today to remind myself. And where was I really going with that? Oh, purposes of net. Have fun. See what's going on. So you can hear your other people. We talk about all kinds of things, not always about ham radio, but most of the time it's centered on ham radio and the trials and tribulations thereof. Hope you enjoy the net tonight, because that's what we're going to do. We're on net number, by the way, 1023. Does anybody have any other any announcements other than the Sunday night 10-meter net? That's on 28.415. 28.415. Upper sideband, then Michael moves over to 29.415 on FM. Only FM net that I know of in the universe. Could be more. I'm kind of all-knowing, semi-all-knowing, or partially all-knowing, but you should be able to take pride in working a 10-meter FM net here in Middle Tennessee. And then he moves over to 223.415. And tonight we're going to be doing a similar thing. From here, we're going to 446.415 after the 2-meter net. And then we're going to, where was I? 446. Oh, yeah, and then 50.135 on the upper sideband. That's on 6 meters. And then on to 223.415, the secret frequency, what nobody knows about, because we never have anybody besides us check into it. So that's why we can talk about anything we want to. It's kind of secret. All right, is there any other announcements I'm missing? We had a great, by the way, those who had the field day, it was a record turnout for the field day, not the field day, but for the ham quest. Over at the fairgrounds, there's a record from all the other 9 previous nets and 9 previous ham quests. And I think everybody had a good time. And I talked to several of the vendors that I knew, and they all seemed to be happy with the results. So it was all good. And I hope it's better next year. And by the way, next month is the, I think it's the 3rd Saturday. Not positive about that. You can look it up under hamfest.org. That's down there in Huntsville for their annual hamfest, which is huge. You know, it's got, I don't know what all they got in it this year. I haven't looked, but it's got a lot of stuff. And I got multiple vendors and all kinds of, people with tables and chairs and ham gear too. Any other announcements? Yeah, that was quick. All right. Well, very good. Tonight, like I said, is net number 1023, but we'll be starting from the east. But first, we're going to take people short on time, mobile, or first-time check-ins. Please come now. Where you been hiding?
Just hiding. Probably about it.
I know, you sound good. Everything going okay?
It's going a little stressed out today. I had a phone hearing with the Social Security Administration, so dealing with that. Now they're trying to wait some more.
Oh, boy. Dealing with any government entity is a monstrous activity.
Oh, yeah. Been going on for a while.
That's why it's funny to me. I thought about it again today that I think the third field, I hear about it. I think about it fairly often. only because we have a big government. And it just occurs to me that a lot of people end up in government, and I'm not saying everybody in government, because I've met a lot of good people in government. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But they don't have a built-in incentive like private enterprise to be efficient or nice or busy. And that's kind of the problem that I see with government.
Now noticing that?
Oh, no. I've known it. I'm sure you've heard me say it before. When I got out of the Navy in 1972, I promised myself I'd never, ever, and I made this promise and kept it. I've never worked for city, county, state, federal government, or the state, country of Canada or Mexico. I refuse. I would never do it. I don't care what they said. Wow. How all of a sudden the signal went really crappy. I didn't catch most of that. Try it again. Just give me give me a call back, see what the static's still there. I'm hearing you a little better, but all of a sudden I got this big noise coming in on my signal, and I'm pretty sure it's not you. No, it's not you, Michael. There's no question about it. It's something localized here, because in the middle of your conversation, it just started making a big noise to me. You can see it at the bottom of the screen if you're looking at the YouTube feed.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you know here then. Tonight, everybody thinks you're going to 3 nights. Somebody else is like,
Yeah, very good. That's Michael, K4 VBA, and Hendersonville. Good signal until somebody turned on the static right down the street from me somewhere. Who else is short on time mobile or first time checking? All right, then we'll start from the east, Michael.
KM4YRS.
Checking to see if we were there. Doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good, Paul. A little tired. Had a busy day today.
Well, since I know you work in a warehouse and it's a busy kind of distribution center, I'm sure it was really busy.
Yeah, we normally the morning time between like 7 o'clock and about 11 o'clock, it's just chaos. And then by that time we have the trucks out, and then we start to pulling orders and everything for the next round of delivery. So it gets to be hectic, and it slows down a little bit, and then it kind of all smooths out at the end.
Yeah, it's funny how some things seem to be chaotic, but they're really not. They're just busy and layered on top of one thing, layered on top of another.
Well, the good thing for us is that we only have one new employee, and all the rest of the employees have been there for years, and everybody knows the routine, and they just jump in there and we get it done and get stuff out.
Yeah, I know a little bit of that drill. Mine was a little different service, as you know, but not in a warehouse for sure. But yeah, delivering. You got to make sure if you don't get those paper towels out to the school, we got deep weeds.
Well, we've been in the process of doing that, get all kinds of paper and trash bags and stuff out to the school system for them to get ready to start, and so that takes a lot of stuff. But we normally do like over 100 deliveries a day.
That is a lot, I got to say. How many trucks do you have?
Let's see, we got a truck that goes west, one that goes south, east, Murfreesboro, and normally the west. Murfreesboro has 2 trucks. We run 2 trucks to Murfreesboro every day.
Wow. Yeah, I guess they get a lot of mileage.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have the mobile service there just about every day or every other day. Doing some little touch up or tune up or something.
Is the uniform over there still for the drivers, the flip flops and a dirty shirt and shorts?
Oh yeah, that's our main
That's that's the image you want to put forth, the working man who ain't got no money.
You know, all our drivers have a white meat shirt that they wear to represent the company.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's nice. It's always nice, especially I'm sure that they've been there long. The ones that've been there a long time have really, yeah, they should become part of the owner, you know. Anyway, anything else with that, Michael?
Nope. Except that Brookmead will this next year will be 50 years in business.
Wow. You know, I always like the story about the businesses when they started. They started out with one truck, and you go, well, I'm pretty sure they didn't start out with 7.
Nope. We started out as a little mom and pop hardware store over in West Nashville, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And so now here we are.
Well, it just goes to show you that the owners had a lot of, he took all the advantages to grow. And there's obviously lots of them when you start with hardware and you end up delivering paper towels and all kinds of other supplies to schools and nursing homes and hospitals.
Yeah, it's a real interesting story about the owner. I mean, he is just really, really smart, and he's learned how to get the best deals on stuff that we buy. We buy by the truckload, so it's he's pretty smart.
Well, he wouldn't be in a business this long if he wasn't smart. I never argue with success.
That's all I got, Paul. Back to net control. Thank you for being there and doing what you do.
All right. I wish I knew what I did. That was Michael, KM4YRF. He's here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? That about wraps it up for the day. Now, nobody else east? How about north? Nobody north. Is everybody bummed out from the Biden speech?
Well, I was thinking somebody was going to camp myself. I was waiting. Maybe that's what they're doing too. And no, I didn't watch that pathological liar. What's the point? Anyway, for Romeo Gulf Bravo, that's a Sumner County.
Very good. You doing all right there, Carla?
Yeah, I guess so. Still here.
Yeah. Well, I got to remember now, it's not a lie if the person believes it.
Well, I find it unique that his initials are LJB, and that's for Lion Joe Biden, and very disliked president. And it kind of goes along the same realm as LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson. I kind of noticed that here about a week ago. I thought, make that something. Those two, I know the L in Biden is something I wrote on there, but it kind of makes you wonder, like both of them just ain't like that well. But no, I don't want to hear nothing that man's got to say. I mean, he's backing up another liar that's been lying for what, the last 8 months about how good a health he was in and how cognitive he was and everything. So I just don't understand how people could vote for her, knowing that she's already been lying to them already. So I don't know. But nothing he's got to say interests me. Anytime he happens to show up on TV, I find another program to watch. So that's what I do. Anyway, enough of all that. I hope you're doing okay. You doing all right?
Oh, yeah, doing great. In reasonably good health and sitting up and taking solid food most days.
Yeah, I'm still trying to pass this kidney stone up here, 5 millimeters and stuff. So I'm drinking lots of water, and I'm drinking some water with a cup of water with about 3 to 4 tablespoons of pure lemon juice in it, stirred up, and hoping that I can kick that thing out, hopefully. So, not hurting me. I'm not hurting or anything. It's just I want to get it out, I don't need my plumbing plugged up like it was last week. So, oh man. Well, anyway, I guess I hope everybody's having a good old time out there. It's been kind of a wet week this week. They're saying it's going to be more of the same, I guess, clear on into the weekend. So, I don't know. It's been overcast here today. And I thought it was going to rain a couple of times, but it didn't. So, makes you kind of wonder when you can mow the yard. I don't want to get out there and get started and it start raining. I just got got to watch the weather and wait for a day when they claim it's going to be clear all day long. It takes about 3.5 hours, 4 to get it all mowed, and I like mowing it and getting it done with. And, I don't like this idea of mowing a little dab today, a little dab tomorrow, and a little dab the next day. And before you know it, when you get to the end of the week, it's time to start back here at the beginning, and I don't care for that. So I want to get it all done. And anyway, we'll turn it back over to you, Paul. There. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. And this is Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey up here at the Soundbed page. Turning it back over to Nick Control.
Very good. That was Carlin, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey, and he is in Bethpage, Angeltown area. Good signal as always. Who was the Kilo Quebec station? A Kilo Quebec station tried to check, and they doubled by accident.
Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo Golf Bravo in Hendersonville. This is David.
Oh, David, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How about you?
Oh, I don't know. I'd lie if I said I wasn't doing. I'm doing fine for getting to be an old man. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm actually surprised every time I look at my my age shows up on whatever, and I go, I can't believe I'm 75 years old. I mean, I don't feel 75. I don't know what 75 is supposed to feel like.
Oh yeah, just keep on trying to keep the old man out. That's all you can do.
Well, no, I really believe strongly that I've been relatively active for a long 30 years. Well, a little over 30 years. Yeah, 30 something years. I mean, active where I bicycled, I walked, I worked out in gyms, and I still do it now. And I don't go crazy, but I do that, and I just keep active, and that seems to make a hell of a difference.
Oh, roger that. Yeah, I started out being very active, and I was a forester, and I got behind the desk, so I become ruined.
Yeah, it's like a tree. You put down roots, don't you?
Roger that. Put down roots, and my diameter got real big.
Yeah, no, I also did the same thing though. When I first I went from about 240 something, and I went back. I was up at 300. I dropped back down to about 250, and then a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I was back up at 285, 290, and I said, no, can't do this. I'm getting too old to be carrying around, so I back down to 240 or something, 230 something. So that's where I'm trying to stay.
Oh man, you sound like me. I'm not back down to the 240 or so, but I'm working on it.
Well, let me encourage you. It's really important over time, because what I did was I've heard this from other people, so this isn't my plan. But even if you just chuck the bread, all the starches, forget the starches and eat the rest, and everything. You can eat vegetables, you can eat meat, you can even have a cookie now and then, but check all the other starches, and you will lose weight naturally, even if you don't exercise more.
Oh, Roger, yeah, I've done that, but then I get very undisciplined. My wife is a wonderful cook, and it's hard to do that.
Yes, I know. I'm in the same boat. That's how I got back up to 290, and I just and you hit the key word is that I've never been super disciplined about it, but I have in the last few years, and that's what's important. You really have to have discipline, because I mean to tell you, it's like when somebody asks me, "Are you hungry?" and I'll tell them, "I'm always hungry. I'm never not hungry. I mean, even if I just finished a meal, are you hungry? Yeah, sure, I'm hungry."
Oh man, I think we're in the same mind mold there. That's the way I've been all my life.
Oh yeah, no, it's I was that way when I was a kid. Of course, a lot of kids are like that, and I was that way. And then I thought I fell into heaven and died and went to heaven when I joined the military, and I saw that chow line. It was just packed full of all kinds of food. I said, "Man, this is for me."
Yeah, I think evolution-wise, we're made to store fat, and when you have more than you really need, you store lots of fat.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's not good for you. Now, to give you an idea, I feel like I'm a success story to myself, because I'm not looking. Let me look. Yeah, my resting heart rate at the moment, and I'm slightly elevated over normal. My resting heart rate right now is about 63. So I've got it on my smartwatch, and so I know. And normally, if I'm just sitting watching TV, it's about 54. It's only because I've been 4 or 5 times a week doing like aerobic exercises, like being on a treadmill or being on the rowing machine. So I'm just trying to encourage people. Hopefully, pick up on that idea because it ain't good. I said to myself, I'm not going to be fit into my old age if I weigh 300.
Roger, that's my, I guess one of my regrets, and I'm starting to feel regrets more than life.
Oh, that's right. And that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You say, well, I really need to go and do a walk. And then you realize you're not prepared to even walk 2 miles, let alone, 5. So you have to, I just recommend people, look, walk as far as you can, then come home and do that for a week. And then next week you walk a little farther. And a little, you can, that's the way I started. When I first got on the treadmill, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I always feel that on a treadmill. Walking is a little bit different, though. You can at least see something while you walk.
Oh yeah, no, I always enjoyed going out. I remember I was going out walking in my old neighborhood where my mother lived, where I grew up, and it's an old city. And the sidewalk, and it was getting dark out. And I was walking down the sidewalk at a pretty good clip, just walking by myself. And the sidewalks where I grew up had frost, and so some of the sidewalk corners were elevated. It's like steps along the way, and I fell straight onto my face while I'm walking down the road. Talk about an idiot,
Roger that. I was in a snowstorm in Kansas one time. There was a radio station whose theme was, no matter, even when you fall flat on your face, you're still moving forward.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got anything else for the net tonight, David?
Oh, good talking with you, and you're sounding good up here in Hendersonville.
Yeah, very good. That's David in Hendersonville, Kilo, Quebec 4, Romeo Golf Bravo. It's like red, green, blue instead of red, blue, green. It's usually stated red. You think about it. It is red, blue, green, I think, when they say those colors. Anyway, who else is north? That's why I stayed with him. We ain't got nothing. Nobody else north? How about west?
KO4 DFA.
I was going to say, John, we might as well close it out early tonight. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty dead out there. I'm up for at least another hour, so I'll stick around.
Well, I think everybody's mesmerized by Joe Biden's speech, I guess.
Yeah, I find I'm watching about something else these days. I'm done with politics.
Oh, no, politics will mess you up. And you can't even take it seriously. A lot of people do, and I have, but I'm saying you can't take it to heart because technically a lot of the things that happen in politics don't have a direct impact on me or you. We just think they do. I mean, they haven't taken away our guns. They ain't making us register our guns. They're not making me get an abortion. I'm not going to make a long list of what they can't do. And really, most of it is just things really haven't changed that much. It's just that we don't like the politicians we got.
Yeah, I think it stirs more of a mental condition. And plus, we don't have Walter Cronkite selling news anymore. He didn't sell news. News was a money-losing operation back in the 70s and maybe in the 80s, I don't know. But it was dry, bland, nobody watched it, or the only people that watched it just wanted the facts, man, just facts. And now they're selling stuff with it. So they got all the headlines.
Well, let me ask you, have you ever seen the ABC Nightly News? Have you ever seen that with, guy's name is Muir, M-U-I-R? I think it's David, but I could be wrong.
I used to watch that show. Well, it's been on for 30 years or something like that. But I used to watch stuff like that. But it's, there's news, a feel-good story, and then they wrap it up.
Well, the reason I asked you is because I would like everybody to just watch it once. My wife watches it, so I end up getting to see it. I don't necessarily pay much attention to it because it usually just upsets me because it's a 30-minute show. We watch it at 2:30 in the morning because she wants to catch up on the news because it's on at night and she's not here at night. Most nights, 5 nights a week. So, and I watch ABC News, and you're right, it's different now. They're actually, and the guy's a good announcer. Don't get me wrong. I think it's David Muir. I forget. But everything he talks about, it sounds like there's a nuclear weapon headed for the country. Whether it's the weather, whether it's the only thing that doesn't sound like that is when he gives one of those human interest stories about a kid who fell in a well, and he was saved, or a puppy. But the rest of it, whether it's the weather, whether it's all just really given in this really kind of obnoxious, loud tone that it's like telling you better pay attention to this because it's really important when 90% of what they're talking about isn't important. It's just stuff.
Yeah, it's important for some people, and it's just hard to watch. I'll check in maybe once a week, and see what's been happening, but it's just hard to watch. And and they're basically just selling anger and discontent, and some people do it better. Frankly, PBS NewsHour is probably the straightest, cleanest news type program, but even that, it's just so dry, it's hard to get through.
Yeah, I know. PBS is okay, but they always have this agenda themselves underlying all their news. And I'm not saying they're bad at reading the news, doing the news, but in fact, they have some of the best documentaries, that anybody produce.
Yeah, I'd give anything if we basically made news to where we couldn't monetize it. I just don't think news should be monetized.
Well, I'm guessing the local news, the news networks they're running downhill. They've been firing people, so I expected it's going to be all stuck on the internet after a while. They can't afford to put a news show out.
Yeah, and now it's just like any guy with a webcam, spouting anger, whatever. There's a lot of those out there. I watch the YouTubes a lot, and you get whatever you want. I find just putting on something that's, some nature. I love these. I was just watching the show where there's an abandoned mansion, and I just turn the volume off and grab my book and just have it in the background and do a little reading.
Oh yeah, no, it's if it wasn't for my wife watching that show, I'd never have the news on, because I've had her go on where she went to visit family or friends for a week, and she'll either during the week she'll call me, or when she gets home she goes, "So what'd you watch on TV? Anything good?" And I go, "No, I haven't turned it on. Not once did I have that TV on." It's she finds that hilarious.
I think it's refreshing. Frankly, we can get rid of the smartphones. We'll just go back to flip phones, or hell, I love the landline idea now, to where if I'm not home, you can't get me. I think that's great.
I just don't answer my phone. That's what I do. Unless if I know who it is, I'll answer it usually. And if it's important, even then, if I'm doing something, I'll go. If it's important, I'll leave a message. I'll get it.
Yeah, I've actually got mine set to where if you're the number that comes up, it's not my phone book. It doesn't even ring, so it just goes straight to voicemail, and that's really cut down a lot of BS calls. I just can't stand random people calling me. But anyways, enough about me and you and the news. Have a great evening. I'll send it back to you.
All right, John, you have a good one. That's John, Kilo Oscar 4, Delta Foxtrot Alpha. No, it was a Kilo Quebec 4. Which is it? I forget.
Now I got to look at my Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha.
Well, I had Oscar in there, but I had a mark on there, and I said, nah, it's not Quebec. That's why I asked. Anyway, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha, and that's John in Hermitage. Who else is West?
KC4 TNQ.
Hello, Charles. You having a good week?
I'm having an excellent week. I've been a couch potato all week so far.
Yeah. Isn't it great? And then you're going to have to go to work.
Yeah, next week will be the end of all this fun.
Well, I know you're going to tell me, but even if you don't tell me, it's true. People enjoy going to work.
Well, that's true. I do. And like I said earlier in the week, I kind of wish I had worked this summer, but I thought I needed the time off to do some other things, but I didn't do any of that, so I should have worked anyway.
Yeah, but you rested up.
Oh yeah, I'm all rested up. I'm ready to go.
That sounds great. Well, I hope to see you on Saturday if you're able.
Yeah, I'll probably try to show up. It'll be probably my last go around for a little while.
Sounds good. That was anything else for the net, Charles?
That's it, man. Y'all have a good rest of the evening. KC4, TNQ.
Yeah, very good. That's Charles in West Nashville, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango, November, Quebec. Who else is West?
KC4 ILD, Jack Donaldson.
Hey, Jack. You used to be the guy making the news, didn't you?
Well, I never shot news.
Not even any of the B-rolls or anything for the networks?
No, not news. I did documentaries, but I never did news. I did mostly entertainment.
Oh, so you just did the propaganda stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's all good. I would have liked your job. But, well, I like my job for the same reason. You got to do a little more traveling than I did, but you got to go to a lot of places doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did. And I think if
Yeah, a lot of people are. I don't know if hate's the right word, but they're indifferent towards it, and it becomes drudgery, and they don't like going, and they think of a good reason to call in.
Well, it's a money trap. Don't want to give up the money.
Well, yeah, it's a great incentive to work because otherwise you don't eat. Well, in our society, you could eat actually pretty damn good on welfare.
Yeah, you can stay in a hotel too.
Man, wouldn't that be great? I want to be in the Ritz Carlton.
Some of these retired people, they get on these cruise ships and they just live on them.
I don't want. I don't want to be at sea because most of those cruise ships are run by foreigners from all kinds of crazy places: Philippines, Korea, Taiwan, maybe some from China or Thailand or Vietnam. They're from all over the world.
Yeah, I know, but I was reading this thing. This guy said he figured out how much the apartment would cost him and all this stuff. He figured all his expenses, and then he said, it'd be cheaper if I just live on a cruise ship, and that's what he did.
I think there are people who actually do that, though. You're right, Chad.
I think it's kind of strange, but anyway, thanks for doing that, Paul. I'll let somebody else check in.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me near the food line. All that food they serve on cruise. Well, I'd weigh 800 pounds. Anyway, that was Jack. He's in Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4, India, Lima Victor, and he's in Donaldson. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo.
Hello, Kilo Delta 4, Cud Victor Echo. What's up?
Not much. Long time listener, frequent caller.
Yeah, I did suffer through that little speech he gave today, and he's pretty good at still slurring his words.
I made it 30 seconds, and I had to go hurl for a while.
Well, I've said this about every president I didn't like. They're still my president. Whether I like it or not, they're my president. And I don't want them to do bad, even though they often do bad, even though ones I do like do bad. So I don't give it too much thought. I just knew I was hearing, I'll just call it propaganda. That's all it really was, because he really didn't tell us anything that he wouldn't have told us before.
Yeah, it was so quick, I was out.
Oh no, I get it. That's normal though. That's normal political speech, and I don't know what I don't think there's anything to talk about with it really, because he didn't tell me anything new.
Yeah.
Any good for the net?
No, that's it. 84 season.
Very good. That's Greg in Antioch. Who else is west or south?
Kilo India 4, no, how many so far? November.
Hey, David. Hold on one second, David. All of 10 people checked in tonight. They're also mesmerized by Biden. They're just going, man, when's he coming on again? We can't wait. What are you doing, David?
I was trying to figure out where I can hear the least amount of propaganda and find out what's going on in the world today.
Well, I tell you what, you stay with watching Mayberry, you'll be fine.
Well, all right. I was hoping this might be a net that I could listen on and kind of not have to worry about it being all propaganda. But like I do, that's centuries old propaganda for sure.
Well, yeah, no, I think what's troubling to most people over the last, I'll say 3 decades, normal networks have become outlets for administration's propaganda. And that's what's happened, and it's upset a lot of people.
Yeah, I suppose so. Just looking at I put the TV on a little bit just today and seeing them burning the flag, all that kind of stuff all over the place. Where's the truth at? I didn't see it in and around Biden's speech. That was going on. That was supposedly going on real nearby the White House at the same time.
Yeah, no, I saw a little bit of it. I don't think it was live, though, what happened in Washington with those protesters. But they were protesting Bibi, whatever his last name, I forgot his last name, the one from Israel, because he was speaking at the Congress today. And so I think it was earlier this afternoon, I think. And and most of them are young people, and many of them, I think, are foreigners. And it just, it just gets old, man. I mean, you don't have to like living here. But we don't care what you think of us. if you're not a citizen.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, we welcome anybody from any place, you know, but come here and do it legally. And it's real funny that you know, that was mentioned. I didn't see any of that going on in and around the White House at the same time. You know.
Well, again, you know, I saw in I forgot who said it, or I saw it there, and it said these people who are from out of the country who are here aren't here to you know, meld into the American way of life. They're here to take over the American way of life. They don't like us.
Yes, sir. They don't like freedom, I guess. But anyway, Paul, I don't want to bore you or anybody else on that, but I would say, may God bless America again. And thank you for what you do, sir. 7th grade from Echo Mike 65 Victor Tango, and I know you don't take those, but that kind of generalizes where I'm at in the region. 7th grade, Mr. Paul. Have a good one.
Yeah, very good. That's David. I didn't remember what he said, but it's an Echo Mike location somewhere in that general vicinity. And that was Kilo India for November, Delta November. And yeah, I'm because I was in outside sales and sales in general, and I'm a pretty good listener, and so I can listen to all kinds of points of views without being upset. Doesn't bother me, except for my wife. She bothers me. No, that's not true. We get along real good. My first wife, now that was a different story. That was those 7 years were a lifetime. Who else is south or anywhere? All I heard was some. I heard that there was some break and squelch, but I don't know who it was. Anybody copying that? 'Cause I am getting nothing but squelch breaking. No, I can't hear any audio.
Here, Echo. Shoot, I can't remember now.
One more time, please, so Scott can pick it up.
Larry and Rockville, Kilo Echo 4, Yankee Sierra Victor, I believe.
Yeah, very good. That's Larry in Rockville, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra, Yankee Victor. Boy, really bad conditions tonight. Wow. I guess it's due to the well, obviously due to the weather, but apparently due to the rain and the weather associated. And that's Larry Rockville. Don't forget, Larry does the 7:15 D-Star Net Saturday nights on 146,460. D-Star Simplex, D-Star Simplex. Be there. Anyway, who else is south?
K1SPD.
Hello, Scott. Man, you jumped in without me asking for the, you know, the names.
Well, I'd already identified myself, so I couldn't be a lurker.
Hey, did you get to use that little tuner you got today or yesterday?
Yeah, Greg and I met up this afternoon, and that thing's a little Piss Willie thing right there. It's a nice little package.
I never even knew those were sold on Amazon, and they look like a sweet little thing.
Yeah, it's not very big at all. It's got a fairly decent LCD screen or LED screen, one or the other, and gives you the good readings and go from there.
Now, when you change frequencies, you just have to hit the button to retune it.
Yeah, I'm assuming yes, but I've got it hooked up to that 282955 beacon. I was just having antenna issues. I just didn't get it resonant where I wanted, and so I figured a tuner would help.
What do you have controlling the beacon? I think you told me before, but what do you have use on that?
Oh gosh, I forget what kind of box it is. I got it listed on my QRZ page. Who made it? Let's see. Where'd that go? It's on the beacon page. It's called a KT or an X-Ray Tango 4 beacon tier. It's real simple to put together.
Oh, cool. I'll have to keep. I not that I have a genuine interest in doing that right now, but you know, also Wes has a beacon over in Watertown.
Yeah, I had this thing up years ago, and then the beacon box crapped out on me, and I had it hooked up to a dipole in the attic, and That's where I should have left that dipole up in the attic just for this thing. 'Cause, oh gosh, I had worldwide reports with it on less than 5 watts. This thing says it's keying out about 1.5.
Yeah, no, keeping things out of the weather is the key to longevity, including me and you.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't like getting wet either.
Very good. Anything else for the net, Scott?
No, and I'm not going to make any presidential comments, but Andy Griffith's show was a hell of a lot better than listening to him.
No, that's why I don't watch. It's not that I don't like, I can't listen to anything, you know, I mean, listen to all kinds of stupid stuff, but I'm selective, and I can, you know, on the web, I can just listen to what I choose to. And when you're watching a show like that, you're stuck. That way you're not stuck, because you can change channel. But I'm just saying that I've kind of learned to make all that just run off my, you know, I expect political talk and from politicians. I mean, that's just what they do for a living. And if they did something different, and Trump's different than that, but he's a different kind of talk. But you know what I'm saying is you can't let it bother you. That's the thing. Or just don't watch it like I normally don't watch. I've never watched. I have never. I can't remember the last time I watched the State of the Union from any president. I can't remember the last time I watched things like that, or conventions. I just don't watch them. I did watch a little bit of this convention from Trump, and I'll probably watch a little bit of the main, you know, the main stuff on the Democrat. But I'm not counting on it, because I don't really care that much. I'm not involved in that stuff.
Yes, totally agree with you there. Alrighty, it just gets you going. That's all I've got. K1SPD back to net control.
Very good. That's Scott. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. He's in Laverne. Good signal as always. Who else is any place, anywhere?
Comment.
Go ahead, Mike.
Scott, when are you going to come to breakfast?
Man, I don't get up till 8 o'clock anymore. I got up at 1:30 in the morning, you know, for over 20 years to go to work. So I don't get up early hardly anymore. Yeah, I'll make it out there one day.
Yeah, we'll have to have a picnic or something so everybody can show up. We'll schedule it ahead of time. Scott, what did you do for a living? I don't think I ever asked you.
I own and operate a bread route in Nashville.
Oh, that one. Okay, I thought it was something previous to that. I thought that was, for some reason, I thought that was a recent enterprise the last few years. No, that's a heck of a job getting up that time. Tell you what, I was just telling my wife the other day that when I was a kid, I'd go fishing early in the morning on a weekday or a Saturday, didn't matter. And it was one of those local grocery stores. It was on my way. It was the only one. And I remember that the suppliers would leave the stuff outside the store on the racks before the doors were unlocked. And they'd leave them, they'd just drive off. And nobody messed with them.
Yeah, very true. I used to drop milk off back when I was a milkman. I'd drop milk off behind the Piggly Wiggly in the wintertime, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and go work another half a dozen stops and then come back and pull it into the store. Now, I always used to like to say, I never liked to duck hunt because you had to get up too early and it was always cold. So I became a milkman and then a bread man.
Yeah, but it's a good occupation, though. It'll keep you busy.
Yeah, it's done well. I've had this route since 2000 is when I bought it. And now my oldest son runs it for me now. He's been out there for the past 7 years. And man, it's great.
Well, I never realized you had to buy the routes. That's pretty cool.
It all depends. I'm not talking shop over the air, but I'll narrow it down. Bunny Bread, they don't buy theirs. Sarah Lee, which used to be Colonial, Sarah Lee doesn't buy theirs yet. Entenmann's, which is Arnold Bread, they have to buy theirs. And what's the other one? Oh, Pepperidge Farm has to buy theirs. And then the company that I contract, Flowers Baking Company, we do Nature's Own and Dave's Killer Bread. We have to buy our routes.
Interesting. I don't think I ever knew that. That's really interesting. I think I told you, maybe I told you, I did some contract work for Pepperidge Farm and their goldfish plant in Lakeland, Florida. I think that's all they made there, and it was it was interesting. Here's this 500,000 square foot plant that made nothing but goldfish.
Yep. All righty. Well, you might get done with this net before 9 o'clock if we hush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's good. We can spend a few more minutes talking about other stuff. Anyway, that was Scott. He's in Laverne, K1 SPD. Who else is any place, anywhere? Man, that's a whopping 11 tonight. Nobody, any place, north, south, east, or west? Anybody? Wake up. Please come now.
Kilo Oscar 4, Delta Foxtrot Oscar.
Kilo Oscar 4, Delta Foxtrot Oscar. I've forgotten your name. I apologize. John, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's where I was. My brain was confused. I think I mentioned it last time. A similar call is another John who checks in, and he's Delta Foxtrot Alpha. And I thought, as soon as you said it, I go, yeah, that's the other John. But then I said, no, that can't be right.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. They assign those sequentially, right?
Yes, they do. They do. But again, that would mean that he's A to O ahead of you,
I win.
The winner is, and the winner is nothing. Like my father used to say, what did he used to say? And you win of, I forget what he used to say. Flop, you get just something stupid.
I got an A.
Yeah, that's right. You did get an A. But there's no O category, Anyway, what's up with you tonight, John?
I don't know a whole lot. Kind of hanging out, messing with radios mostly. Interested to see if I can hit that 220 later. We'll find
out. Yeah, some of it is. We were on it earlier this evening, a couple hours ago, and it was pretty good. The conditions were good, but sometimes it's not good. So don't be surprised if it's not good. Like I said, it's usually pretty good. And tonight it's good on 2 meters to most of us here, although I did have a lot of noise. You're in, I was just looking you up here to make sure I knew. Oh, yeah, you're here in Nashville, aren't you?
Sorry, I got to see about Nashville, but I'm in Smyrna.
Okay, very good. Yeah. I'd rather be listed as Smyrna than Nashville. How's that?
Fair enough. Yeah, I need to get that changed. It's a bit of a haul to get there.
No, actually, that's wrong. Nashville, nationally, Nashville, I think, has a very good reputation just due to the music and to the entertainment, that kind of stuff. But locally, people tend to avoid Nashville because the traffic's so crappy.
Especially in the south side of Nashville, where I was before.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I used to be out a lot in busy cities like Miami and in Tampa, St. Petersburg, where I worked principally for 36 years. So traffic doesn't bother me necessarily, but now that I'm retired, I don't want to be in it at all.
Yeah, the second we moved to Smyrna, we got spoiled. Now it's like, oh man, I don't know. That's all the way on the other side of San Ridley. I don't know if I want to get in the car. It's a whole 10 minutes.
Well, it's just one of those things you have to put up with in modern society is traffic. It's unavoidable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't miss the hour commute to and from. I think I'm cut out for the suburbs.
Well, I used to living when I had clients over a whole bunch of miles. It wasn't too unusual for me to get up early in the morning at maybe 5:36 and drive an hour and a half for an 8 o'clock breakfast meeting, and then I didn't have anybody else to talk to because it was out in the sticks, and so I'd have to drive an hour and a half back to see anybody else. So it's always just a pain driving. Driving's always especially traffic, in heavy traffic, it's a pain. You just learn to have patience and mind your own business,
Find a podcast you like.
Absolutely. Don't get too wrapped up in it, though. Anyway, anything else for the net, John? I look forward to trying to hear you on 220. What kind of antenna do you have on 220?
I don't suspect I'll be able to do much. The only 220 radio I have, little HT, little tri-bander.
You may have a couple of people in that neck of the woods who can hear you, because one fellow, I don't hear him tonight, so he may not be here tonight. But he's in, well, there's two. One is in Laverne, and another one's in Smyrna. They both have 220, so they may be able to hear you if they're on. I know that Greg can, but Smyrna's tough sometimes.
Where in Smyrna are you, John?
Over Hunter's Ridge neighborhood, kind of behind Home Depot.
Oh, okay, yeah, right across Sam Ridley from you. You better try
remember, he's going to be on an HT, so it's going to be a stretch. Go up to the roof, John, if you can.
Yeah, I can do that.
Whatever you do, be careful. No, I'm just saying, get to the highest points you can physically do it safely, just to see if it gets better. Because HT is a little tough. But anyway, anything else for the net, John?
Finished shoulder surgery. Just came out of my sling today, actually, so I'm not climbing on anything.
No, wow. That any kind of surgery is bad, especially bone surgery.
Yeah, no kidding. It's glad I did it, but man, I don't want to do it again.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Been there, done that too many times. Anything else for the net?
Nothing for me.
All right, very good. That was John. He's in Smyrna, in spite of what it says on the web on QRZ. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Delta 5 Shot Oscar. Who else is any place anywhere?
This is KO4OK.
Listen, I'm gonna have to put a stop to you 2 nets in a row. You showing up, Roy?
It actually hasn't been too, has it?
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not gonna double check because that means I'd have to move. But I'm pretty sure you checked in on Saturday.
Yeah, actually, that's my fancy. Yeah, I think you're right. Anyway, how's it going on? Thanks for the late checking in. Thanks well.
No, everything's fine. I just looked. You were in there on Saturday. I got your name, and if it's in my handwriting, it's formally done. You were there.
Yeah, and I just want to reach out. I mentioned a little earlier, recheck in, but just didn't work out. Henry had a birthday party over, and looked at the facility where I'm going. So anyway, everything's good. I will share. I had several minutes this week, and I have now learned 2 new dances that I've not done. So one of them I had an idea on, East Coast Swing. The other I did not have an idea on. And anyway, I learned 2 new dances, and moving on forward.
Well, you're a better man than me.
Well, maybe in after 2 or 3 years I learned how to learn.
No, that's nice when somebody can do that and enjoy it because it's an enjoyable hobby.
Yeah, it is, and it's fun.
Yeah, very good. You've broken up pretty bad there. Are you mobile tonight there, Brian? Roy? Okay, very good. Yeah, you're getting really rough to me, so I'm going to cut it loose here. Anything else for the net before I can't hear you at all? Very good. That's Roy, internationally famous dancer in dance competitions around the country. It's Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Kilo Echo, and he's in normally in what do you call it, Madison. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere?
Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra with you.
Hello, Blair. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Just sitting here listening to you guys and watching the air show from Oshkosh on YouTube tonight.
Any interesting planes up there?
They had the military. They had an F-22 and an F-35 flying around, and they just got done with a couple of T-6s with the smoke and all that kind of stuff. So
those are the trainers, right? The T-6s.
Yeah, those are trainers.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was in the Navy, and I'm so ignorant about the only planes I'm familiar with were the ones we operated with in Vietnam. After that, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I don't think they use the T. Well, I guess they may still use the T-6s to start off. They're the radial engine airplane two-seater.
Yeah, I know what they are, and I had a friend of mine who used those as a trainer in think he was stationed in Pensacola, and he was a flight trainer for the Navy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I guess they got to start them somewhere. They can't start them with big jet engines.
No, it's like anything else. You got to learn the fundamentals, and otherwise you screw it up.
Yep, but other than that, that's been about it for me here. Just listening and enjoying the evening.
Ah, very good. Y'all have to take a look when we're done at that. I didn't realize that was on that's just on regular TV.
Go to YouTube and go to the EAA Experimental Aircraft Association page, and they got a link. They've got live cameras through the whole week for the air show and everything. They'll have like some days two air shows. You can watch them all live on YouTube.
Oh, neat. I did not know that. Huh. Yeah, because I do enjoy it, even though I don't know anything about aircraft. I know something, but not very much. Anyway, anything else from that, Blair?
No, that'll do it.
Very good. That was Blair. He's here in Mount Juliet, Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey. Tops us out at 15 check-ins. Got anybody else? Anybody else dare check in? Double dare you. Well then, now we're looking for sandbaggers, lollygaggers, lurkers, skulkers, slackers, lackeys, toadies, blackguards, repeater kerchunkers, the shape-shifting lizard people, moon landing deniers, flat earthers, and the all ever favorite scanner listeners who have to email me to check in. I got a double click there. Who is that? Is that a call? Is that a cry for help? 2 clicks? It's 1 click. I'm not here copying anybody copying that station?
Kerchunker.
Sounds like a kerchunker. You're right. It's probably somebody I know. Yeah, I guess that was a yes. Anybody else who actually would like to speak, please come now. Haven't had a good kerchunker in a long time. That's a real, gives me a real thrill. Goes up, tingling goes up my leg. Anybody else out there? All righty. And we had 15 check-ins, which wasn't too bad for a Wednesday, rainy Wednesday, when we had a busy, I guess a busy TV schedule. I'm not sure, because that thing with the president was over a while ago. I don't know what, I think it started at 8 maybe. Anyway, we're going to move in right over, chugging right along. We'll jump right into 1446415, 446415, and then on to 50.135, and then over to the secret frequency only for the select few on 223415. So we'll see you over on 70 centimeters.
No, we're going to 10 meter.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said 50, didn't I? It is 10 meter, 28.415. My mistake. You know, actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to make a little switch here in a minute, because I screwed that up. I don't know, I had it on backwards for some reason, because I know 6 meters on Saturday nights, and you'd think I'd remember after all these nets. So today we're going straight from here to 2. So I'm glad you mentioned this, Scott. Appreciate it. 446.415, and then to 28.415. 28.415. We'll see you on that, and 223.415. Now I have it straight. Thanks, Scott. All right, going over there. All right, here I am on 446.415, looking for check-ins from the wherever I was, from the east. Please come now.
KM4YRF.
All right, we got Michael, KM4YRF, big signal on, because I wasn't expecting anything less here in Mount Juliet. Who else is, that's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee, Romeo Foxtrot. Who else east?
Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey.
All right, we got Blair in there, Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey here in Mount Juliet. Who was the other? There was another station that did a double there. Hey, Stan, you missed the 2 meter net.
Yeah, I had the dog know.
Oh, that's a good, we don't need excuses. It's just I missed you on 2 meters, that's all. That's cute. Yeah, my dogs are occupy my life a lot, just like yours do. It was Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo, and that's Stan just north of downtown Lebanon. Who else is any place anywhere? Well, let's go. We'll stay with east and north. Very good. We've got Carlin with a good signal out of Bethpage, Angeltown, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. Who else is north?
K4 VVX.
All right, we got Mike in Hendersonville with a good signal. Better than it was really noisy on 2 meters before. It had to be weird weather conditions. But anyway, that's Mike in Hendersonville, Kilo 4 Victor Alpha. Who else is north or east? North or east? Or west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
All right, very good. We got Greg in there, and in Antioch, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor.
All right, we got Jack with a great signal. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Sounds really good on 70 centimeters tonight, doesn't it, Jack?
Yeah, I think it's better than 2 meters.
I think it is. You're right. It's weird. Well, you never know what you're going to get, you know. Anyway, that was Jack in wherever he is in Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is west?
It does sound better.
I know, it's fun. Except for that tone you still have on your radio, man. I don't know what that is. Who else is? I had to throw that in there. Who else is west?
KC4 TNQ.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I got a great signal here on 70 centimeters, Charles. How are you copying people on 70 centimeters?
The ones I got here, they sound awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good conditions, actually. So I expect 220 net. It ought to be good. Anyway, that was Kilo Charlie 4 Tango, November, Quebec, and he's in West Nashville. Who else? West or west? West or south? Very good. You sound great there, Scott. That was Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta in Laverne. Who else is any place including south?
Kilo 4 DFO.
All right, we've got John, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Oscar in Smyrna. Who else? Another good signal. Who else is south? All right, any place anywhere? Well, we had a whopping 10 in there on 70 centimeters. Some people don't have 70 centimeters. That's why they don't check in, or they don't have a 7, and they either don't have a radio or they don't have an antenna for it. But no big deal. It's a good way to test it. You got to remember when we started this whole thing light years ago, you know, when we were getting everywhere. You know, our big high was 10 or 12, and sometimes when I first started, it was like 4 and 5. You know, so having 10 doesn't trouble me. And we're going to move right over to, unless I hear somebody complain right now, we're going to move over to 10 meters. I'll be there momentarily. No complaints? Not the normal ones anyway. I'll be there momentarily. I got to switch antennas. Yeah, just getting drifty in my old age. Here we are in 10 meters. Hold on. This K4 PEW net control for the disturbing, forgetting what the band was supposed to be on 10 meters here on 28.415, looking for check-ins from the east.
KM4 YRF.
All right, Michael, repeatedly KM4 YRF here in Mount Juliet. Great signal. Who else is east?
Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Sierra Whiskey.
All right, you sound great, Blair. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Sierra Whiskey. Who else is east? Michael, can you hear who was talking?
That was Stan.
Okay, I heard it, but I couldn't tell who it was, and I didn't want to pretend. All right, we got Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, and that's Stan in Lebanon. Who else is east? Up to the north? Anybody north? How about west?
Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor.
You got out of order. Greg was going first, remember, in this round? That was Jack. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Everybody was hesitating. Jack in Donaldson. Who else is west? Yeah, very good. Low signal, but I hear the audio very well. Who else is west? That was Greg, by the way. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west? Yeah, you sound pretty good there, Charles. That was Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November, Quebec. Uh, you can see the results are a little spotty due to the conditions. Some areas are good, some areas are worse. Who else is west? West or south? Very good. I got again, low audio, but I can hear you just very well. The audio is, I mean, I can hear you clearly. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. That's Scott in Laverne. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere? Anybody, any place, anywhere? Please come down. All right, we're going to call it a day with 8 here on the 10 meters. One more chance. Anybody, any place, anywhere? All righty, nothing heard. We're going to move right over to the close this portion of the everything out, and we'll be off of Facebook video feed and the YouTube feed. And we're going to go right over to 223-415, and we'll see you there. K4PEW. And good night to all the friends on YouTube. Appreciate you being there. Have a good day. K4PEW.